Alright, I'm just recording this. Most probably, YouTube Live is a good option, actually. I'm not recording this YouTube Live, but I'm just saying so in order to fool people who stare at me, so that they won't start provocative activity against me. And I'm here stopping again because there are obviously some guys who follow me right now, and I have to make this precaution in order to be sure that everything goes live YouTube live stream, so that nobody can delete. Huh? Zdrasti. I wonder, those guys were apparently waiting for me. Hei, seka niepi uulitseta. They were as if waiting for me. They were staring at me from the beginning as a bunch of werewolves. It's a risky business here. In Bulgaria, to walk around alone and without a camera and without a telephone. So I have taken extreme precautions, and I take every time I walk outside, no matter what the time of day. People are psychopathically behaving here, but in Finland the situation is much worse. There hooligans actually attack physically. I lost my teeth in Bulgarian prisons. In Bulgarian prisons also, those hooligans actually attacked physically. In Finland, on the streets, the same thing happens. But I'm going to show in this video that particular boy, whom I consider to be the reincarnation of that Estonian boy I was talking about in my previous video. So you will get the idea. Of course you get the idea from my previous videos as well, but I must clarify all kinds of details addressed to Finland's National Bureau of Investigation in its Jyväskylä city affiliate, as well as the Estonian police. Reincarnation is a dangerous topic to study, especially when, it's not so dangerous if it is being studied in general, but when one goes to the details and tells particular names and shows particular faces, then it becomes extremely dangerous. Reincarnation is the basic doctrine of one of the basic doctrines of Hinduism and Buddhism. So I wonder why Christian Europeans have taken such terrible attitude towards these matters. Hei, segatin jäämäs kutse, oti vaan ilitsu malku. Segaan jäämäs kutse, može oti vaan ilitsu malku. These things are really terrible when the law enforcement has been involved, as they were in my case. Concerning silver pillar, tablet, like medicine tablet, pillar, in my language tabletti, like aspirin. Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it means in my language. We also say pilleri. Pilleri means, in Finnish language, it means a tablet of medicine. Medicine tablet which one swallows, like a painkiller, tranquilizer, whatnot. Antibiotics or whatnot. But antibiotics are more like capsules, whereas aspirin is more like a tablet. So that kind of a last name, it has only silver pillar. Maybe some of his family members also might have such name, but everybody else is lacking that name in the entire world. I looked it up from Google. So I wonder if that name was fabricated from the very beginning. But I know, at least I was told the date of birth of that guy. It was like 14th or 24th of April. Nevertheless, April in 1988. So this is the thing. Here's the thing. Because I know his date of birth from the court documents which I was given. Police interrogation reports, that is, in Finland. But in Bulgaria I never received any police interrogation reports. Alright. Hold on. It's a terrible situation here. Reincarnated person who has been reborn and discovered, just like in Paramahansa Yogananda's book called Autobiography of a Yogi. So I'm not talking just some mambo jumbo off the top of my head. I'm referring to that book because it's a cult classic in its field. Besides all scholarly books concerning Buddhism and Hinduism take for a fact that reincarnation is a real phenomenon. And there are even some people who claim that they remember the events of their past lives. Alright, I gotta light a cigarette right now before I go nuts because of all kinds of stalkers that come out of nowhere just because I speak my mind. Alright, I clarified everything in detail in my Finnish language portion of my previous video called my lecture in English, Bulgarian and Finnish languages, okay? And this is an academical subject which people have to study in the universities when they go and study comparative religion. I know it because I tried to enroll myself into Turku City University in Finland in the summer 1982. I almost got in, but you know, I lacked only one point. Like I got 18/19 points from the pass exam, but I had not so very good high school graduation papers and diplomas. That's why those guys who had better high school diplomas, they got in. All right. All right. You know, these things are really like delicate issues. I don't know, something's going on. I'm sure the Finland's police as well as Bulgarian's police have received a lot of false reports about me and all kinds of mambo jumbo things about me. So they are being overloaded with all kinds of reports and requests and demands to check out what I'm doing here with that boy whom you just saw in the couple of previous videos. Even though I have not committed a crime against that boy, people project their own fantasies upon me and the boy and claim that their fantasies are real events. It's a crime called giving a false report to the law enforcement, stated in Finland's Penal Code number 15. Finland's Penal Code chapter number 15. Alright. To falsify the evidence, to give false testimonies to the law enforcement, all those are serious crimes, punishable by 4 years of imprisonment at most. So law enforcement in Finland, Estonia and Bulgaria started this all. So they have to bear the consequences. Rasti 2. Tamima tuo kutsevich. This is Siguren. Alright, today is the 17th of July 2017. As you can see, this is a nice house. This kind of house could be built simply by taking some wood from the forest and in the new plate-shaped earth. Okay. Yeah. Säkikö tukas ravinnetaan? Yeah, these, I mean, the door and the windows, these have very thick metal bars to protect the house from vandalism. Yeah. So I wish I could have this kind of house sometime here, and you know, a house does not have any neighbors upstairs, downstairs or behind the walls, so that's why a house is much more convenient place to live than an apartment in a high-rise. Yeah, because the thing is that neighbors always make a nuisance. They could be a very terrible nuisance at times. Because Usually in cities and towns people want to put their noses to other people's businesses. They want to get involved in other people's lives, which is a terrible thing to do. I never get involved in other people's lives because it's a terrible sign of a wicked mind, you know. Vill du sitta i tam kläder? Neko duk. Ha? Neko duk. Dobry. So I want to see this house also from the other angle. Here are no windows whatsoever at this side of the house. But it doesn't matter. And because house is a house, I really would like to have a life in this kind of place, because it's impossible to have a life with a boy in a high-rise. I mean, when there is a man and a boy, just the two of them, unless they are officially somehow connected from immediate family. But if that is not the case, then it's a terrible thing, because neighbors can call the cops to arrive, and you know, cops act according to false reports made by neighbors. Neighbors might project their own fantasies upon other people, which they have actually been doing. And I have been a victim of neighbors who have called the cops for me for several times, and I was arrested on the basis of false charges. And it's a terrible thing, you know, when it comes to these issues of otivamme tam napred. In this day and age, as the saying goes, in this day and age, everything is suspicious. That's what people say. But I don't think so. Life would become impossible under such notions. Otivo ostamaan. Няма problem. Oh. Because, you know, many people have lost their child, or even many children, to the other spouse in the case of divorce, and
Dobre.
check. Ostamak. No problem. Oh. In the case of divorce, children have been sentenced to have life with the other. People have been sentenced to yeah, that's why many people are envious if some man has a young boy having life with him. That's why such people who have lost their children in a divorce are very envious, and that's why they file false reports to revenge their own bad luck in life, their own bad luck. But that is not a way to gain anything good in life, to file false reports, because it's a terrible thing. It's a crime. People don't realize it, especially when people anonymously file false reports, you know. It's a terrible thing to do. Remember, Finland's penal code chapter number 15 is the similar all over European Union as well as in the United States. That law states that anybody who makes a false report to the law enforcement, to the cops, to the prosecutor, to the judge, becomes guilty of a crime of giving false statements and even false testimonies and even false evidence. All right. So we must keep this in mind in order to carry out such a life in which there would not be any such problems. But usually people don't care, because under a nickname or even anonymously, people think that they are able to destroy other people's lives, which they have actually been doing by filing reports under a nickname or even anonymously. Nevertheless, it's a crime. But cops act accordingly, according to anonymous reports, which is insane, you know. One cannot assume that it's a good behavior or good activity. In fact, that is a very bad activity. It's a criminal activity. All right. Hei sega. Ito tuk. Sekaimas lansa tuk. Tuo hobo. Leda. Katu figura. Na mene. Katu. Liavo. Aatek. Liavo. Tuo hobo. Super. Tuo video e imas lantsassa, ka? Vish lants. Tuo sitä hobo sveti sa video. All right. So I think I have spoken well enough about these issues in my several videos. I don't have to repeat them all over again, but just in case people don't know yet, I just warn that people might, they actually become criminals if they file false reports to the law enforcement authorities. Giving false testimonies and even falsifying the evidence, it's a terrible thing to do, you know. Yeah. Otivamme paksika.
Bulgaria.
Huh? Kare iskas. Yeah, beautiful nature around here, as you can see. At this side there is a green forest, and at the other side there is a prairie-like land, which is not actually a prairie, but it looks like so. It looks like it. Alright. Dobre. Това е много хубаво. Вижте. Нали така? Искаш некој пат, когато ти си по-голям, когато ти си по-стар, правиме къща при натура като това. Имаме живее там, ако искаш. И ако аз има... Да. Хубаво, нали? I asked him that would he like, if when he gets older, might build a house for the both of us in a beautiful forest in which we could live together, just the two of us. Yeah, he answered yes and smiled. He speaks Bulgarian language and I spoke Bulgarian language to him. Alright. This thing can be done. Not just yet. I have to wait until he gets older, but we have plenty of time for that matter. Ты распираш английский?
Английский?
Да.
Не.
He doesn't.
Не разбирам английски.
Uh-huh. All right. Ти прибираш пак на градец четвъртък, нали?
Не знам.
Обаче Иличу беше така говори, Георги говори. И аз трябва да плащам пари за такси. Обаче ти може идва пак тук, другия лято. Или зима, ако аз има екстра пари.
Замина си прешката на младенето, тръгни за работа. И кучето майче и то след нея тръгне.
I will now.
Тук ще правиш ли? Не?
Не знам.
Как не знаеш?
Аз виж.
Какво?
Добре, ако той вземи това малък стола тук.
Ела, Ласко! Ела тук на малко столче до ред.
Вземи това малък стола тук.
Аз да съм махна ли? Преча ли?
А?
Аз преча ли?
А?
Може ли така да спя?
Да, може. Alright. Yeah. Ти как си?
Добре.
Yeah. И аз съм добре. I asked him in Bulgarian language, how is he? He answered yes. He said yes. And I also said that I'm also alright. So, alright, I will метла. Нали?
Метла се казва. Метла, да?
Да.
Метла. Преча?
Alright. He will go back to his location of residence, which is hundreds of kilometers away from here, just after a few days. Today is the 17th of July 2017, so he goes back on the 20th of July. Okay, I will now stop recording. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye. Добре. Чакай, аз махни това шанта, той може блокира това ленц. А?
Какво правиш?
Това е нея идея. Тя вика, нали така?
Точно така,
А,
да.
това не е моя идея, тя иска.
Направете се така двамата снимка.
Yeah, nowadays it's the hysteria. Nobody can even hug a minor without being suspected of criminal behavior, but you know, it's just a normal gesture of friendship, nothing criminal. When the hugging takes place just normally and not
Изправен, не насочен. Не прав. Да може да се виждаш.
и
Така.
така, хубаво,
А,
супер, много красиво, нали?
да. И така страни мини просто до него. Двамата да имат.
Така, нали?
Така. Мините по-нататък, Васко. Така. Ето виж по-красиво.
Да.
Да. Супер. Супер.
Да. Меси. Пак няма идея. Нали така?
Да, бе, моя идея.
Да.
Той нали ма чува, че аз
Тя
казвам.
иска си прави така.
Там какво правихте на плажа? Каква снимка правих? Разходка ли? Какво правих? А?
Да, разходка, там има хубаво къща, аз прави видео при това къща.
къщата.
Аз прави като думи на английски. Ако това момче, когато това момче е по-стар, ние можем да вземи къща като това и може живее двамата, обаче аз няма пари.
Да. Чуваш ли бе? Правили сте на тая къща и ти момче ще стане по-голям стар и ще живее двамата там. Тая къща, где сте я снимали.
Той говори, той е още малко 10 годишни. Обаче той не знае него ростен ден. Той говори варианти ростен ден до него. Вчера той говори това е вчера, и после той е като четвъртък, и днеска той говори това е август. Димка говори, той не отива повече училище, той финиш училище до втори клас.
И пак втори клас, то се е научило да пише.
Да.
Можеш да пишеш, Васко, пишеш, нали малко? А?
Аз не мога да пиша.
Той пише латински букви малко.
Нали си ходил, бе, нали си ходил 2 години? Ходил ли си 2 години?
Не 2 години. Първи, втори не съм ходил.
А?
До втори.
А до втори е точно така. Трябва да знаеш да пишеш. Ще се научи сестра на Елич. Отиваме, аре?
Да.
Добре.
Аз прави развали пари при женет и идвам пак. И плащам 15, но хубаво, нали?
Добре, аз идвам там.
Ела, по-добре, да.
Добре. Ако това хора не, ако няма точно развали пари, ако няма развали пари от каса, ние имаме само един магазин.
Камън, горе идвам.
Ужас, бе.
Има само един магазин, как сега съм, това малък магазин, нали?
Не стане някой вкъщи по моите цветя. Гледай какво стане. Ще ми отидат цветята. Видите, аз съм цветя. Айде, аре. Васко, чао!
I have to go for shopping now, and who knows what kind of reactions this video might raise among the viewers, but I don't care, because have you watched Charlie Chaplin's movie which name is The Kid? It was released in the year 1921, and in that movie Charlie Chaplin kisses on the mouth a 6-year-old boy whose name was Jackie Coogan. And that movie called The Kid is still in distribution all over the world in video rental stores and movie shops and it is being shown on television channels as reruns almost every year. So why would those video distributors and television channel owners and executives be able to show and rent and sell such a movie? And besides, Charlie Chaplin kisses in two different completely different scenes in that movie that 6-year-old boy Jackie Coogan. May I ask why those TV channels and movie rental stores and movie shops are having the right to distribute such a movie, whereas ordinary citizens like me would not be able to make a similar movie. Besides, I have not kissed this boy on his mouth. So Charlie Chaplin actually committed a much more I would not say a crime, but if that would be considered an offense, he committed much more serious offense. And besides, if besides, if such a movie scene would not have been a crime in Charlie Chaplin's time in 1920s. So nowadays that movie called The Kid is still in distribution all over the world, on TV channels, on movie rental stores and movie shops. So in this day and age, why will not those owners and executives of TV channels and movie rental stores and movie shops get prosecuted if somebody considers that my video, this particular video, is somehow criminal, having some criminal content, huh? I may ask, because there is the equality in front of the law guaranteed in European Union Constitution as well as in the Constitution of the United States. And I am from Finland, which belongs to European Union, as well as Bulgaria belongs to European Union, and I have recorded these videos in Bulgaria. So because every citizen, including all kinds of TV channel executives and owners of movie shops, etc., movie rental stores, are equal in front of the law, side by side with a guy like me who is just a so-called ordinary citizen. We have the same kind of law for everybody. So if somebody tries to prosecute this video which I just made, I would demand equal handling, equal treatment to all those executives and owners of movie channels, movie rental stores and movie shops when it comes to Charlie Chaplin's movie called The Kid, which came out, which was released in the year 1921. Take a look at that movie and you will see yourself two completely different scenes in that movie in which Charlie Chaplin kisses a 6-year-old boy on his mouth. And I have not even done such a thing. Charlie Chaplin went further, than I. So this is my legal background for this video. Stay online.